All right, so yeah, whatever. Face the audience, right, Joe? So, so as some of you may know, I tore my shoulder a while ago. I never told you guys the exact date. It was Christmas Eve. No, it wasn't from lifting. It was just me being stupid. Nobody's fault. It happens. But yeah, now I'm kind of just going through rehab, I guess. It's coming back online. It should be good by next week. They say it should be good by next week, like Wednesday. But yeah, for the time being, I'm just practicing with lightweight. This is just 10 pounds. You would think it feels like 50. But yeah, just doing rehab, and I'm sticking to core and legs. Mainly just legs. There's limited core stuff I can do without a working shoulder. Also, it wasn't just the shoulder. It was a little bit of the tricep and bicep too. Mostly bicep, which is why I'm doing curls. Just to get it back online. Mainly the shoulder though. But there's 3 things you said you wanted. Man, my hair looks bleh. And we'll change it later. I'm going through a style phase right now. Hence why I'm also growing back the beard, because so many people are complaining about it. Really only one, to be honest. I personally like the clean shaven look. I might just wipe all this off again. We'll see. So I guess let's do it in an order that makes sense. You wanted a recap of 2025. So, well, we actually have to go back to 2024 because that's when I officially started, right? 2024, October 18th is my official start date of the gym. Now, the reason why I started going to the gym, actually, I think I like just facing it. It's okay. So, the reason why I started going to the gym, well, life kind of just got physically hard. I'm not gonna lie. I let myself go. Let's just say that, and I know exactly why. I got too comfortable with where I was. Right? Life became, I wouldn't say easy, but comfortable out of habit. I really didn't have any goals that I wanted to achieve, and honestly, I was focusing too much on other people than I was focusing on me. So I kind of just stagnated. I stagnated. And you know what? I didn't think I would want to talk about this, but I guess I'll tell you the chain of events that kind of happened. So, yeah, life got physically hard. I had trouble literally just going about my daily responsibilities, I guess. Let me just, God, waking up, getting dressed, going up a flight of stairs pretty much gassed me. I noticed I would have to sit down frequently, take breaks. I felt like I was just exhausting myself way too quickly. I had no stamina, and I felt weak. And I felt purposeless at the time because I didn't have anything I wanted to work towards. I was just so comfortable where I was, right? And let's just say a massive chain of bad luck happened during that time. So what is it? I guess in order. I guess I kind of just became depressed a little bit. I just wasn't working towards anything. I completely stagnated. I just, ugh. Um, my job just wasn't leading me anywhere. It was repetitive. Um, just, it was a purposeless job. It just put money in the pocket, I guess. But actually, I think I'll save that story for another time. I don't like talking about that. But either way, there was just a chain of bad things that happened. And bad times. Not the worst times I've had, but close second. I guess the only difference is that this time I knew how to deal with it, right? So, anyway. Man, that's... You know what? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that story should be the first thing I tell you about. So we're going to skip over it and we're going to summarize. And maybe later on I'll tell you the full thing so you can get a read. But I stepped on the scale one day and I weighed close to 400 pounds, 380. And I mean, you guys can go and look at my page and see what I looked like at my heaviest. I was hideous in my own view of myself. Gluttonous, hideous, slothful. And it wasn't just, I guess, physically at that time. It was emotionally, mentally. Everything just fell apart at once. But at rock bottom, you realize who the rock at the bottom was. And that's how I came back to faith. I was a lost sheep. And God guided me back. Guided me back into his flock. Many people helped. Many people helped for that. That's an entirely separate video. That's a very long story to be told. But going into 2025. Now, at first it was just moving, getting my body moving, getting out of the house instead of being in my own head. Every day was just about 2 to 3 hours at the gym, kind of just doing anything that would take my thoughts away of what they were. No. The progress was quick at first because, going from just being a completely sedentary life and then just going to being completely active for about 2 to 3 hours a day of just nonstop heavy lifting with cardio mixed in, the weight started to drop and I started to feel better almost pretty much immediately, physically. Appearance-wise, I had a very horrible view of myself. I did not see myself. Honestly, I hated myself, like in every aspect, physically, mentally, emotionally. I just beat myself down constantly. But with that, feeling like I was the lowest I could be, there's another side effect that I have to where if I feel that I am not adequate or that I am lacking, it pushes me to try harder. It doesn't actually make me wallow in my own self-pity or my own lack of ability. It actually makes me improve it exceptionally fast. I had times where actually some of my family members would stop me from going from the gym because it wasn't really about working out. It was more like just stopping my own thoughts from happening. And the gym was kind of just my safe space. When I was there, it was just me, a weight that needed to be lifted, and nothing else in my head. It was kind of like peace. Now, going further on into the year, I'd say around March to May or June is when, March to May or June is when I started to, I guess, get noticed by other people, right? You know how people say that, when people lose a lot of weight or people get, visually more impressive or whatever like that, you notice a change of how people treat you. And that was very blatant for me. A lot of, how would I say this, attention, a lot of more compliments, a lot of more opportunities that presented themselves to me, which, it's just the world that we live in. I wish it weren't so, but it is. And then after that, I kind of still was in my own head, but less of now. I could have days where I genuinely just enjoyed my days, right? I had a lot more people I was talking to. I was a lot more sociable, outgoing, and I was doing a lot more things. Also, I was actually goal-oriented, at least gym-wise, and my mental health and spiritual health was much, much better. I would say spiritually, I was with God, but it gets stronger towards the end of the year, which let's skip to there. About September was when I went on a hiatus. And the reason I went on hiatus, long story short, I wasn't satisfied with my own progress. I looked in the mirror and I truly did not see a different guy staring at me at that time. I still felt like I was the same fat, slob, pathetic, worthless piece of trash that I had started out as, which, horrible way of thinking, but that's how I thought. And at the time, I was also gaining back weight because I had switched to not caring about weight loss and I wanted to do strength training. And, mass moves mass philosophy, that wasn't a very good idea to follow. So I reoriented myself with my original goal. I went on hiatus, cleared all distractions, and also thought, what kind of guy do I want to be in the future? What kind of impact do I want the world to have on me, but also what kind of impact do I want to have in the world? So it was also not only just isolating myself, but also finding myself. Ooh, that's difficult. So, what next after that? Well, at first it was purely just focused on weight loss. Whatever I could do on the day-to-day to get more pounds off the scale and look physically better. And it worked. It definitely worked. I noticed myself slimming up immensely, getting rid of all of my bloat and inflammation. After that, it was kind of just, I didn't know why I was doing Ashley. Because although, yes, I wanted to go to my original goal, I wanted to lose more weight. I wanted to get down to 270 from the 380 that I started out now at, which I'm at 300 now. It was, yes, I'm doing this. Yes, I'm going to continue doing it, but what is my goal after this? Why do I actually want to reach that number? Why do I really want to work down there? And truly, I did not know. But during this time, during that hiatus that I was away from all of you, I was going to church. 2 days a week, but I wasn't like attending a sermon or anything like that. It was an empty church, just me in it. And I would go from the hours of about 12 at night to 1 to 2 in the morning, Saturday and Sundays. No one else was in that church. And from that time, it would simply just be me and God. And I would speak, tell him my problems, tell him my worries, go over everything that's happened. I gave all my problems to him, put them all forefront. And somewhere along those meetings with him, I began to feel him watching me, if that makes sense. I could feel him listening. I knew he was listening. And that provided comfort, and that also provided the faith to keep going, despite me not knowing where I would end up. Despite me not knowing why I was doing it, I had faith that he put me on this path for a reason, that he would eventually show me. And eventually, he did. I saw a future version of myself, the one that I will become one day. I saw all that he did, all that he would do, and all that he was doing. And then he looked back at me. And he told me to catch up. I can't even put it into words what it was really like. But imagine waking up one day and suddenly you know exactly what your purpose on this earth is. You know exactly what you want to do with your life. You know exactly how you would do it, what you need to do to achieve it. You know how long it'll take. You know every step of the way. It's like one day waking up in third person and being able to flip through the pages and see your entire story. And that's what he allowed me to see. And ever since then, I've loved myself. I've been proud of myself. I have a new hope, a new faith, but a new drive in my heart, because now I walk and I know that regardless of what challenges I may face, regardless of what obstacles and difficulties, I will reach that end point. And there will be nothing that can stop me. For God does not put a dream, he does not put a vision in your mind that was not meant to be achieved. And there's a saying that a pastor told me. God does not call the abled, he ables the called. In 2024 to 2025 was abling me. It was building me up and reforging me as a person so that he could then show me my purpose. And now that I'm able to do it, now that I'm able to pursue it, it is only left to me and him to bring it into reality. And that's what I will do. And it was then that I decided to come back. To social media, come back to, people that I had cut out from my life. Well, some of them, very small handful. A lot of them needed to go because I didn't think they contributed to me as a person at all, or as a blind influence. But Then I came back. That's actually when I started, I guess, showing teasers of the transformation. And after that, I decided, then yeah, now it's time to go do it. And it'll be at the start of the new year. Happened a little bit before the, start of the new year, but there was no point to delay it anymore. Not that delaying it would make anything else change that wasn't already there. So, yeah. After that, that's where we're at. That's where we're at now. It's a longer story, a personal story, but I don't want to even tell you guys that. That is kind of just reserved to very, very close individuals. Um, one day I will tell you though. One day I will. Just not now or anytime soon, unless something changes. And I guess you also wanted to know the plans for 2025, right? Okay, here they are. So 2025, no, it's 2026. Why do I keep saying 2025? New year, guys. So 2025 was a reforging. It was laying a new foundation, putting myself in fire to reforge myself into a new me. 2026 is not a debut. It's not a flashing firecracker show or fireworks show. It's not some big pop stage. It is documentation. It is building. It's finally me putting down the building blocks. So it's just me, then this. Not this, but this. All of this. And it is simply building up for 2027, because 2027 is when I will make my debut. And the debut for what? Strongman. Competing officially. In my own head, I'm still too weak. I have certain parameters that I myself have set for myself that I need to reach before I give myself the okay. But also, my coach, also my grandfather, who used to do strongman himself, is now an observation of my progress and my way of training. And so I also need the green light from him. In due respect, of course. And when I get that green light, not only from him, but foremost myself, because I'm not going out there just to compete and lift a weight and say I participated as a hobby. I'm going to do it to make a career of it. But really not even a career. It's a way of life. It's just what I want to do, you know? I've got a message that I kind of want to send to the world. I've got something I want to accomplish with that. I can't tell you what that message is. Not until I'm at the stage where a lot of people can hear it. But just know, it's there. And that's the final goal, not anything else. And that's why I know I'll do it. Because I'm not doing it for title. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm not doing it for recognition. Hell, I'm not even doing it for legacy. I'm doing it because it's something that other people need. It's something that other people need to hear. And I truly believe that if I don't tell them, they won't hear it. Or they'll hear something so diluted, so far from it, that I'll have the opposite impact of what I wanted to do. But until then, the otherwise layout is, first, we're going to cut down to 270. First and foremost, that is the first goal, primary goal that is in our heads right now. Cut down to 270 pounds. And then after that, we begin switching to pure strongman implements training, focus, building strength. And from that point forward, we will be putting probably more weight back on, most likely, so we can build strength properly and not have excess fat or any physical material that'll slow us down. Everything will be purposeful from there on out. And from there, that'll pretty much be the continuing flow. Learning the implements, getting proper training, conditioning, so that we can start competing by 2027 at the latest. I've been notified of a competition in fall. They say maybe I might be ready for it by then. Maybe. But we'll see. I'm in no rush. In my head, it's 2027. It's the definitive year. But, if it happens sooner, it happens sooner. Only my progress will be able to tell. And my rate of growth. But I think that summarizes everything. So, I'm going to end it off there. And thanks for checking in. Thanks for stopping by. And thanks for giving me the suggestions. Have a good one.